My friends, the very first battle you must win each morning is not fought in the marketplace, not in the office, not in the streets. It is fought in your own mind. The thoughts you allow to occupy your mental kingdom will either enslave you or empower you. Every day you awaken, you hold the steering wheel of your destiny in your hands, and that steering wheel is none other than your thoughts. You may believe that circumstances control you, that the world outside shapes the life you live. But I tell you the truth, it is not circumstances. It is not luck. It is not the opinion of others that decides your fate. It is the thoughts that you consistently feed your mind. For as a man thinks, so does he become. Consider this: every invention, every fortune, every empire began first as a thought. The airplane was once a thought. The skyscraper was once a thought. The cure, the discovery, the miracle. All of them first lived in the invisible workshop of the human mind before they ever touched the soil of reality. If this is true, then why do so many waste their mornings filling their minds with worry, with fear, with doubt? To do so is to plant weeds in the garden of life and expect roses to bloom. The truth is, your mind is a magnet, and it does not rest. Whatever you dwell upon with intensity, you attract. If you rise in the morning and think about failure, failure is what you will attract. If you rise and think of lack, then lack will multiply around you. But if you choose, yes, choose, to begin your morning with thoughts of strength, prosperity, courage, and victory, then the world begins to align with those images. You must become the master of your inner conversation. Do not allow your mind to wander like a beggar down the streets of negativity. Instead, direct it like a commander giving orders to his army. Speak to yourself in the morning as a ruler addressing his kingdom. Declare, I am strong, I am capable, I am destined for great achievement. I will not bend to fear, I will not bow to doubt, I will not surrender to weakness. My thoughts are my power, and today I choose to think only that which serves my destiny. It is not enough to merely say these words. You must feel them, believe them, and repeat them until they become second nature. For repetition carves pathways in the mind, and once those pathways are deep enough, they become habits. And your habits of thought will create your habits of action, and your habits of action will create your results in life. Think of your mind as fertile soil. The seeds you plant each morning determine the harvest you will reap. Plant seeds of faith, and you will reap confidence. Plant seeds of gratitude, and you will reap joy. Plant seeds of determination, and you will reap success. But plant seeds of fear, and you will reap limitation. Plant seeds of envy, and you will reap misery. Plant seeds of doubt, and you will reap defeat. The soil does not care what you plant. It will return whatever you put into it. So why not plant greatness? Understand this: your enemies are not out there in the world. Your greatest enemy is within. The negative thought, the self-sabotaging belief, the voice that whispers, you can't. But here also lies your greatest ally. The positive thought, the empowering belief, the voice that whispers, you must, you will, you can. Which voice will you feed? Which will you obey? You cannot control every circumstance of your life, but you can control how you think about them. You cannot command the wind, but you can adjust your sails, and the sails are your thoughts. Fill them with direction, with certainty, with boldness, and they will carry you to the shore of your desires. So I say to you, rise each morning as a master, not a slave. Do not surrender the keys of your mind to fear or to the world's noise. The news may shout of crisis, the world may whisper of limitations, but you must answer with the voice of dominion. Say, I am not what the world says I am. I am what I decide to think I am. My friends, if you dominate your thoughts, you will dominate your destiny. For thought is the origin of wealth, the foundation of health, the architect of achievement, and the fountain of all joy. Guard your mind, guide your mind, and govern your mind each morning, and life itself will become your obedient servant. My friends, life will not reward you for drifting. Life will not honor the one who merely wanders from day to day without a plan, without a target, without a burning aim. The world is filled with men and women who wake up each morning with no clear sense of direction, no great mission driving them forward, and therefore they move through their days as leaves blown by the wind, pulled here, pushed there at the mercy of circumstances. But the truth is this: no man can succeed greatly until he first knows precisely what he wants. A definite purpose is the compass of your soul. Without it, you may possess talent, you may possess energy, you may even possess opportunity, but your power is scattered, your efforts are wasted, and your results are small. With purpose, however, all things begin to fall into order. Every morning when you rise, you must demand of yourself, what is my chief aim? What is the one great reason for which I live, labor, and strive? Until you answer this question, your life will remain in fragments. Purpose is the unifying thread that weaves your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions into a powerful whole. Think of the sun. Its rays shine everywhere, but until they are concentrated through a lens, they cannot set a piece of paper aflame. Yet once focused, those same rays can burn through steel. So too is the power of a human life. Scattered, it warms nothing. Focused, it transforms everything. Let me tell you something that few truly understand. Drifting is the most dangerous habit of all. A drifting mind is a playground for fear, for doubt, for procrastination. A drifting life becomes a wasted life. You must not allow yourself to wander aimlessly through your days. Each sunrise is an invitation, a command to move closer to your definite aim. You may say, but I do not yet know what my purpose is. Then your purpose for today is to find it. Search within. Ask yourself, what great desire stirs my heart? What vision refuses to leave my imagination? What dream keeps me awake at night? These are clues, whispers from the depths of your soul pointing you toward your destiny. And once you discover it, write it down. Fix it in your mind. Repeat it until it becomes the heartbeat of your existence. Each morning, take that purpose and bring it into sharp focus. Do not rise from your bed until you have said to yourself, today, I move one step closer to my chief aim. You may not complete the journey in a day, or even in years, but you must ensure that every sunrise finds you moving forward, not drifting backward. Do not think for a moment that great achievements are born from chance. Fortune does not favor the lazy, it favors the purposeful. History remembers not the drifters, but the men and women who fix their minds on a definite objective and refused to let go until the world yielded to them. Purpose brings with it a strange power. When you know where you are going, doors begin to open, people begin to appear, resources begin to flow. But if you hesitate, if you wander, if you move without clear direction, even opportunity will pass you by. The universe does not conspire for the indecisive. It bends only for the determined. And let me warn you, purpose must be definite. To say, I wish to be rich is not enough. To say, I wish to be happy is not enough. These are vague, weak, and without substance. Your aim must be clear, measurable, and definite. It must be something you can hold in your imagination with crystal clarity. It must be something that sets your spirit on fire when you think of it. So I tell you this every morning: demand of yourself a definite purpose. Demand clarity. Demand precision. Demand direction. Write it, speak it, meditate upon it, and above all, act upon it. And never allow distractions to pull you away from it. For each time you give in to distraction, you drift. And each time you drift, you lose momentum, and momentum once lost is difficult to regain. Remember this truth: a life without purpose is a tragedy, but a life with purpose is a masterpiece. With definite purpose, every challenge becomes fuel, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone, every failure becomes a teacher. With purpose, you will rise after every fall. With purpose, you will find meaning even in suffering. With purpose, your days will blaze with direction and power. So demand it of yourself. Do not wait for someone else to hand you purpose. Do not expect the world to tell you why you were born. Stand each morning, look within, and declare it for yourself. And once you declare it, cling to it with the grip of iron. For the man or woman who lives with definite purpose is the one who cannot be stopped. My friends, the most powerful force that resides within you is not your muscles, not your wealth, not even your education. It is your belief. Belief is the invisible architect of your destiny. It is the unseen power that shapes your thoughts, guides your actions, and ultimately determines what you dare to attempt and what you allow yourself to achieve. Look around at the world you live in. Every towering building, every bridge, every invention, every discovery began in the realm of belief. The airplane was born when men dared to believe they could fly, even when others mocked them as dreamers. The telephone was born when one man believed he could carry voices across wires, though the world laughed at the idea. Belief is the seed of all progress, the heartbeat of every triumph, the spark that transforms the impossible into the inevitable. Yet here lies the tragedy: most people do not believe in themselves. They limit their dreams, they shrink their desires, and they imprison their possibilities because deep down they whisper to themselves, "I cannot." This single thought, "I cannot," has destroyed more destinies than poverty, more hopes than failure, more dreams than all obstacles combined. You must understand this eternal truth: your life will always rise or fall in proportion to your belief. If you believe yourself weak, you will act weak. If you believe yourself capable, you will act with courage. If you believe abundance is beyond your reach, you will never grasp it. But if you believe success is your birthright, then every fiber of your being will move toward it with certainty. Belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is not daydreaming. Belief is the deep conviction that no matter what obstacles stand before you, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how loudly the world says no, the voice within you still says, "Yes, yes, it can be done. Yes, it will be done. Yes, I will do it." Every morning, when you rise, you must affirm your belief in yourself. Tell yourself, "I was created with purpose. I was born to achieve. I carry within me the power to rise, the strength to endure, and the courage to conquer. My dreams are not illusions. They are previews of the reality I am destined to build." Say it. Believe it. Live it. For belief is contagious. When you carry unshakable belief, others begin to feel it too. People are drawn to the man or woman who believes in their vision. They are inspired, they are motivated, they are moved to follow. But when you doubt yourself, when you shrink in fear, when you hesitate with uncertainty, people sense it, and they retreat. Belief attracts, doubt repels. Consider the mountain climber. He does not conquer the peak because the mountain is smaller than it appears. He conquers it because he believes it can be done. The height does not diminish, the belief increases. So it is with your challenges. Your problems are not smaller than you think. Your belief is simply weaker than it must be. Strengthen your belief, and every problem becomes conquerable. Do not allow the voices of the world to weaken your belief. There will always be those who say you cannot, who laugh at your vision, who doubt your ability. But remember this: their disbelief belongs to them, not to you. The only belief that matters is your own. Let the world doubt if it must. You must believe all the more fiercely. And let me remind you, belief must be fed daily. Just as your body requires food each morning, your belief requires nourishment. Feed it with affirmations. Feed it with gratitude. Feed it with reminders of past victories. Feed it with the vision of your future. If you do not feed belief, doubt will starve it. But if you feed belief, it will grow into unshakable faith. So rise each morning and declare to yourself, "I believe in my dream. I believe in my power. I believe that no force on earth can stop a determined soul armed with faith. I believe that I was not placed here to fail, but to conquer. I believe that greatness is my destiny." For when you master belief, you master life. Your belief shapes your attitude shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. And once you truly believe, deeply and unshakably, your destiny bends in your favor. My friends, the world does not reward the one who starts. It rewards the one who finishes. Too many men and women begin with fire in their hearts, only to quit at the first storm, the first obstacle, the first taste of resistance. The graveyards are filled with dreams that died not because they were impossible, but because their owners surrendered too soon. Understand this truth: persistence is the bridge between desire and achievement. Every dream, no matter how noble, will test you. Every vision, no matter how great, will place obstacles in your path. These trials are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to prove you. The question is not whether life will challenge you. The question is whether you will persist long enough to claim your reward. You see, quitting is the easiest habit in the world. Anyone can start. Anyone can speak of their goals. Anyone can dream. But persistence, the daily, relentless march forward despite fear, despite fatigue, despite failure, that is the rarest of qualities, and it is the one that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Think of the river. It does not cut through stone because it is powerful, but because it is persistent. Day after day, year after year, it strikes the same spot until the unyielding rock must eventually give way. So it is with persistence. No matter how impossible the obstacle appears, if you keep pressing, keep moving, keep pushing, the obstacle must eventually surrender. Failure is not the end, it is feedback. Each defeat carries within it a lesson. The man who persists learns, adjusts, grows, and returns stronger than before. But the man who quits gains nothing but regret. Do not fear failure, fear surrender. For failure can be turned into fuel, but surrender kills the dream forever. Every morning, you must remind yourself, I will not quit. I will not surrender. I will persist until victory is mine. Speak it, believe it, live it. Let persistence become your identity, your reputation, your habit. Let the world say of you, he cannot be stopped. She cannot be broken. No matter how many times they fall, they rise again. That is the spirit of persistence. Consider the farmer. He plants in faith, waters in faith, waits in faith. The harvest does not come overnight. There are storms, there are seasons of drought, there are long days of labor without visible reward. But he persists, and eventually the harvest comes. So too with your dreams. You must persist until your season of harvest arrives. Persistence is not only about enduring hardship, it is about cultivating consistency. Success is rarely achieved through giant leaps. It is achieved through small, consistent steps taken day after day. The habit of persistence transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. The weak wait for motivation. The persistent build discipline. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel discouraged, days when you feel as though progress is invisible. In those moments, persistence whispers, keep going. The breakthrough is near. Do not stop now. And often, it is just beyond the point where most people quit that victory finally appears. Remember this, gold lies deeper in the earth than sand. Diamonds are buried in the hardest rock. If you want treasure, you must dig longer, dig harder. Dig past the place where the average man stops. Persistence is the shovel that uncovers your destiny. You must also understand that persistence is a choice. It is not a gift given to a few. It is a decision you make daily. You may feel fear, but persist anyway. You may feel tired, but persist anyway. You may feel doubt, but persist anyway. The man who persists, despite his feelings, conquers himself. And he who conquers himself can conquer the world. So every morning, make persistence your vow. Say, no matter how many times I fall, I will rise. No matter how long it takes, I will endure. No matter how heavy the burden, I will carry it until my goal is reached. Let that promise echo in your mind until it becomes a part of your very soul. My friends, persistence is the habit of champions. It is the armor of the victor, the fire of the conqueror, the secret of every success story the world has ever told. If you harness it, if you live it, if you breathe it, then nothing, no setback, no failure, no enemy, can deny you your destiny. My friends, a dream left in the mind is only an illusion. A plan written on paper without execution is nothing but ink. The world is not moved by ideas alone. It is moved by action. Action is the bridge between what you imagine and what you experience. Without it, even the greatest vision dies a quiet death. Too many people spend their days waiting. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect opportunity. But let me tell you, this perfection will never arrive. The man who waits for perfect conditions will wait forever, while the man who acts, even imperfectly, creates progress, momentum, and victory. There is immense power in immediate action. When you rise in the morning with an idea, with a goal, with a desire burning in your heart, you must ask yourself, What can I do right now with what I have, where I am? And then do it. Take the step, however small. Make the call, write the letter, begin the work. For action, once started, ignites a fire that grows with every step forward. Think of the locomotive. At rest, it can be held back by a small block of wood placed before its wheels. But once in motion, it smashes through steel barriers with unstoppable force. So it is with you. At rest, doubt, fear, and hesitation can hold you prisoner. But once you act, once you move, once you begin, momentum becomes your ally and resistance crumbles before you. Action is also the antidote to fear. Fear thrives in idleness. The longer you sit thinking, worrying, imagining what might go wrong, the stronger fear becomes. But the moment you act, fear begins to weaken. The man who acts boldly feels his courage grow with every step. Action transforms hesitation into confidence, transforms doubt into certainty, transforms weakness into strength. Do not deceive yourself by mistaking planning for action. Plans are important, yes, but endless planning without execution is another form of procrastination. The plan is the map, but action is the journey. A map cannot take you to your destination. You must walk the road. And even if your steps are clumsy at first, even if mistakes are made, those mistakes are teachers, guiding you toward refinement and mastery. The great danger of inaction is that it becomes a habit. One day of delay becomes two become a week becomes a year, and suddenly the dream that once burned brightly has faded into regret. Do not let this happen to you. Each day wasted in hesitation is a day stolen from your destiny. The only way to break the chains of delay is to take immediate action now, today, this very moment. You must live with urgency. Not panic, not haste, but urgency. The understanding that life is brief, that time is precious, and that opportunities pass quickly. Every sunrise is a gift, but it is also a reminder that yesterday will never return. What you do today matters. What you do now shapes the person you are becoming. Action has a compounding power. The first step leads to the second leads to the third, and before long, you find yourself far ahead of where you once stood. And the beauty of momentum is this: the effort that once seemed heavy becomes easier with each step, for motion creates energy. Do not be afraid to act boldly. The timid wait to be certain before they act. The bold act, and their certainty grows from the very act of doing. The world favors the man who dares, the woman who moves, the soul who refuses to sit idle while others hesitate. Fortune does not wait for the hesitant. It rushes to meet the one in motion. So each morning, ask yourself not only what you desire, but also, what action will I take today to move toward it? Write it down, decide it, and then do it before the sun sets. Small actions taken daily build into great victories. Consistent action is the path to mastery. My friends, remember this truth: knowledge is powerless without action. Faith is useless without action. Desire is barren without action. The only way to transform thought into reality is to act. Do not wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is promised the moment. Seize the hour, seize the day with decisive action. For the man who acts is the man who wins. The man who acts is the man who grows. The man who acts is the man who turns his dream into destiny. So rise and act. Move boldly. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. Take immediate action and watch as life itself opens its doors to you.